I am sweating in this room right now. If it looks like my hair is wet and greasy, it's probably because it is. June is such a special month for me because this is the month that I have tried all of the makeup. I gave myself permission to try some new products just so that I can review them for y'all. So I'm so excited to let you know what really hit the mark for me this month. You will probably get sick of hearing me talk about this product, but it is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. I'm sad that this is so expensive because it is a great product. I love that it does a good job at blurring my pores, minimizing them. Obviously, they're not going to disappear with just a product. However, it does minimize my pores and doesn't enhance my texture, but it's also moisturizing on the skin and creates a very smooth finish so that when you apply on foundation, whether it's super matte foundation or hydrating glowy foundation, it just makes your makeup look so good. And I notice such a difference when I don't apply this on, especially if you are an oily skin girl who tends to use more matte or natural satin finish foundations. This is so good because it makes it so much smoother on the skin. It adds that moisture without taking away the texture of the matteness of the foundation. So I would highly recommend this if you have the extra budget to splurge, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. This is something that I wish I had splurged on sooner. I do not know what took me so long to purchase this. This is a holy grail for so many people who have oily skin or acne prone skin. It's the Estée Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, and I understand it now. This is truly the most long-lasting foundation, no budge foundation you will ever wear. I'm actually wearing it today and I'm obsessed with the way that this looks on camera, so this is probably going to be my go-to camera foundation. It also is truly matte and sets pretty quickly on the skin. I can see why some people might not prefer this, but if you are looking for something that is going to stand the test of time, including the humidity, the heat, whatever, your sweat, this is going to be the foundation for you. If I was getting married, this would be my wedding foundation, I think, because it's truly the best long wearing foundation I have ever tried. Before this, I was using the Chanel Ultra Le Tint as my go-to long wearing foundation, but no, this is even better. Not only that, it's such a thin, liquidy formula. It applies really nice on the skin and does not feel heavy, which I was worried about because sometimes full coverage, long-lasting foundations can feel so heavy on the skin, but it does not feel that way. And also with the rest of my makeup, I think that this, in combination with the primer, my makeup just is exactly how I want it to be. And it just stays and put, does enhance my texture, and lasts all day. And I couldn't ask for more. So Estée Lauder really did that, and I would highly recommend this if you have my skin type. The Kosas Revealer Concealer is also something I wish I had tried sooner. I wish. I didn't purchase this for such a long time despite the hype, just because I thought this was going to be one of those clean beauty products that expires really quickly. It also was going to be something that was very lightweight and glowy, and that's not what I look for in makeup. Just because I do have oily skin, I need something that is going to last all day, not make me look greasier, and also give me some coverage because I have a lot of acne spots and scarring, and I don't want a concealer that's going to be lightweight. It's just not my vibe and kind of defeats the whole purpose of a concealer for me. And so when they came out with the minis, I was like, okay, let me just try out the mini. I could probably finish it up before it expires. And let me tell you, this is probably one of the best concealers I have tried in such a long time. Usually I need 2 concealers at minimum so that I can have one for under my eyes and then also for blemishes, but this does both. It's beautiful under the eyes. It blends very well. It gives you medium coverage, and it is also good to cover up any dark spots that you have. Although it's not super full coverage, I'm still just really happy with the consistency of this. I think that it is liquidy enough so that you can blend it out. It gives you blend time without setting too quickly, but it's also creamy enough so that it gives you enough coverage, but also looks good under the eyes. I think that if you haven't tried this yet, definitely try out the mini because I feel like this is great for all skin types. So I have been trying a lot of drugstore makeup just because I want to do more drugstore videos and recommendations for y'all. And this is the one product that truly surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be all that it's cracked up to be, but I was truly surprised. This is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Pressed Powder, the mattifying powder, and I'm in the shade medium. They also have a shade golden, which I actually want to try because I feel like it would fit my skin tone a little bit better. But anyways, overall, this is truly, as it claims, a mattifying powder. But what I think is so special about this is that I can like pack this on and my skin for some reason doesn't look cakey. I would recommend this if you are an oily skin person and you always need to touch up your makeup. I always use this as touch up. I'll just kind of like take a little powder puff, touch it up during videos. And when you look closely in the mirror, for some reason, my foundation doesn't break up with this powder. It just doesn't look cakey, and I'm shocked. I think it's because it's such a sheer, thin powder. Like, you don't get a lot of color from this at all, that you can really build it up and you won't really notice it's there. I think all it really does is mattify your skin, which I really, really love about this. So if you want matte skin, but you hate the look of cakey makeup, definitely try this out because I think it's such a beautiful touch-up powder. My next favorite of the month is the Dior Rosy Glow blush, specifically in the shade Cherry. They did come out with a bunch of new shades that are more friendly towards brown and deeper skin tones. And the shade Cherry is just, it's what I want in a blush. When I apply on blush, I want it to look like, I want to look more alive and flushed and just cute and adorable, and I feel like this blush does exactly that, especially for the summer. This is the exact color I'm looking for. I do have it as a topper with another blush on my cheeks, and I feel like it just makes my makeup look so much more alive. If I had to only choose one blush out of my entire collection, I would probably choose this one because I find that it gives me exactly what I need, which is a flush of color. It isn't that pigmented, but that's the point. It's not really supposed to give you a full glam blush look. It's really just supposed to give you a sheer wash of color, which makes you look flushed. And that's why I think this formula is so special. And I would recommend it if you have the extra cash to splurge. Speaking of blush, I also tried out the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wand in the shade Peach Pop. I have definitely fallen off the Charlotte Tilbury bandwagon because I just find that her products have, like, they're really expensive and some are hits and some are misses, and at this point I've just tried so much more makeup that I think is better than what Charlotte Tilbury can give. However, there's just something about this that made me so enticed to purchase it, and I think it's mainly because it is a soft matte liquid blush, and I love a good soft matte liquid blush. And surprisingly enough, you don't find a lot of that on, like, in the beauty world. The only liquid blushes that have a soft matte finish that I'm aware of is from NYX, and Rare Beauty has a matte formula, but she tends to expand the shade range for the glowy formula, which I don't like as much as the matte formula. Again, I have textured cheeks, so I don't really like to put too many glowy products. Like, every once in a while I'm okay with it, but when I'm on camera I want a matte blush. So seeing this really intrigued me, and I freaking took the plunge and I purchased it, and I like it a lot. Is it worth the price? Definitely not, but the color is just, it's special. NYX doesn't have a color like this in their line, so it's not like I could have found a dupe. And then Rare Beauty also doesn't have a color like this that's in the matte formula. I think she does have one in the glowy formula, but it's just, It's so easy to build up, blend onto the skin, and the finish is just this nice soft matte. So I love using it for every day, and it's just like the Rosy Glow blush, which it gives me just that brighter cheek and makes me look flushed and awake, and that's exactly what I love in a blush. So again, I love this. Speaking of Rare Beauty, I have been in love with her highlight formula. This is the best of the best of the best of the best that I have tried in so long, and I am not a highlighter person. There was a phase where I stopped buying highlighter because I was like, yeah, I don't really like the way that it looks on my skin anymore. It definitely like gives me that full glam makeup look that I'm not really loving anymore. However, after seeing so many people hype this up, I gave in and I purchased it myself. I actually convinced myself out of purchasing it at one point because I swatched it in the store and I was like, this is glittery. I don't like it. I think I swatched one of the first two shades. However, the shade Flaunt isn't that glittery, and when you put it on your skin, you don't really see the glitter. It gives a really beautiful sheen. You could also intensify it where it looks like you're wearing like full glam, or you can really use a light amount and it just looks like a sheen kind of wet look on your cheeks. And I specifically like the shade, okay, I'm applying it now. I like the shade Flaunt because it really blends in with my skin tone and almost just makes it look like I didn't apply any highlighter. It looks like liquid highlighter, or I'm sweating from within. I did try the shade Exhilarate, and if you're my skin tone, that is much more frostier on my brown skin. So if you're looking for something that applies on a bit more natural, I definitely think Flaunt is the way to go. But in general, I think this formula is so like top-notch, best formula. I love applying this. I love it. Selena Gomez really did it with this one. She really did. This month I also tried a lot of new lip products, lip combos, so I'm just so excited to be sharing some of the awesome ones that I found for my skin tone. If you have my skin color, you know that sometimes a lot of lip products end up just looking very ashy on you, or too deep or too bright. I like something that's in the middle. Like this lip color right here, it's just soft and it's not too bold, but it's not too pale. Anyways, I have one lip liner that I am so happy I just took the plunge and purchased. It wasn't expensive. It was the NYX Professional Lip Pencil in the shade Nude Truffle. And I have been meaning to buy and try one of the NYX lip liners. I just couldn't find a color that I was, interested in. And when I swatched Nude Truffle in the store, I was like, I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. So if you don't know, Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury used to be my favorite, and this is now my #1 lip pencil because it's like Iconic Nude, where it gives you that very sculpted brown shade, almost like a contour shade. But Iconic Nude is a bit too pale for my actual lips, so it's not as flattering on me as someone with a lighter lip color and skin tone. Nude Truffle is very similar, except it's a deeper shade. It has that pinky, browny, cool tone, color to it, but it's deeper, so it matches my skin tone and flatters my lips so much more. I absolutely love this, and the formula I would say is just as good as the Charlotte Tilbury one. I also really love to wear it with this Kosas lip oil, which I tried this month, and it's in the shade Unbuttoned. This formula I hated at first. I was like, I like a good thick gloopy gloss that lasts long on the lips. I don't like a true lip oil. Like I just think that true lip oils are streaky, they get all over my face, they're not long lasting, and I have to reapply it. But because of the color, this formula and this lip oil has grown on me. Also, this does smell like lemon cakes, and I absolutely love that smell, so it's gotten me to wear it much more. If you really like lip glosses and lip oils that aren't sticky, this is definitely one that I would recommend. It's really not sticky at all, and it gives you a really glossy finish that I love. And the color Unbuttoned I would describe as like a really nice rosy pink. So I really like to pair the Unbuttoned shade with Nude Truffle on a daily basis. It's a very safe lip combo, so if I don't really know what to wear, I tend to go for this combo, especially if I have some dramatic eyes. The only downside about the Kosas lip oil is that it does leak and it gets sticky, which is so strange to me. I think there's just something weird about the packaging. I left it sitting upright and it was leaking, which I don't really know how it did that. The second lip combo I have fallen in love with is by Makeup by Mario. This is the lip liner in the shade Angela, which is like a bricky red. Yeah, it's a reddish bricky pink. And then the Makeup by Mario Plumping lip cream or lip serum in the shade Bronze Glow. This is also a formula that I did not like at first, the Plumping lip serum from Makeup by Mario. The first shade I got was called Apricot Glow, and I hated the taste of it. It smelled like apricots and it tasted like artificial apricot flavor, and I did not like it at all. I also thought the shade was a bit streaky on my lips, so I kind of like was off-put by this formula. However, for some reason, something in me wanted to try a different color, so I ended up getting Bronze Glow, and this is so much better. The shade's a bit deeper, so on my lips it's not as streaky. The color is very, I would say it's similar to the Unbuttoned shade, except it's darker and has more red into it. It also has a little bit of glimmer and shimmer. In terms of the lip liner, I think the lip liner formula is great. It's long lasting and it's very creamy on the lips, and it does come with a little lip pencil, which I feel like is so convenient. I really like this combination just because it looks like my lips but better, and that is truly everyone's dream lip combination. The last makeup favorite for this month is surprisingly from MAC, and I haven't purchased MAC in a long time, but I saw this palette and I was like very intrigued. I purchased it mainly for nostalgic reasons because I used to love MAC like most, and also just something about this color range was so enticing for me, specifically the shade right here, which is this really yellow, swampy, murky color. It also has some brown tones in it. It's called Uninterrupted. I love a good yellowy brown. I feel like it's so flattering on my eyes. I do have like this golden olivey skin, so having an eyeshadow that is not only leaning yellow, green, brown, it's just, I feel like it's very flattering. I have it on my eyes today. I usually just blend it into the crease and I'm like, good to go. Truly, this palette is worth it for that eyeshadow, but they also have some very nostalgic eyeshadows that I used to love, which is called Satin Taupe and Wedge, and then some other shades that I've never tried before. And I just think that MAC has a good classic formula of eyeshadow. It's nothing like special in comparison to what's out now. Like, there's no like super pretty glittery glitters in here, but I'm like okay with that. Like, I love the satin finishes. I feel like no one beats MAC when it comes to like a satin finish. I also love that this palette isn't super warm toned. It actually leans more neutral and cool toned. So I've just been really inspired by this eyeshadow palette. I love to use this little dark brown to line my eyes. I feel like this is just a fun palette to go back to, and it's very versatile. So I would recommend this. I'm very excited about this month. So for skincare, I tend to use the same old products all the time because I am a huge believer in keeping consistent and a good skincare routine. However, every once in a while, I will try something new, just depending on if I feel something's missing in my routine. The first product I finally tried is the Paula's Choice Exfoliate. This is specifically the liquid. I actually had the gel formula at one point, and that's what convinced me to buy this. There's something about this that actually works on my skin, and for such a long time, salicylic acid anything did not really do anything for my skin tone, not skin tone, oh my gosh, for my texture and skin, and I never felt it made a difference. However, when I started using Paula's Choice, I actually felt like my skin was less bumpy, and also the texture of my skin was much softer. This is also one of the only like liquid exfoliants or chemical exfoliants that doesn't irritate my very sensitive skin. So I know this is super overhyped, but I think it's worth a try if you want to get a mini, because it's one of the first products that actually has worked for me without irritating my skin. I love to use this before I'm about to get my period because I tend to get a lot of acne on my chin during my time of the month, and I feel like this does a good job at preventing it for the most part. I mean, every once in a while it's still gonna sit here and there, but it's less bumpy than usual, and I really, really like that. The last skincare item is an oil, which I don't really incorporate a lot of oils in my skincare routine. Again, I have oily skin and I'm very, very scared of oils. However, I have felt like my skin hasn't been as glowy as I wanted it to be. A lot of my moisturizers weren't doing it for me. I felt like I was doing my skincare routine, but I would wake up and my skin was just like bleh, like it felt like very dull. So I decided to research and find like what products I could use to make my skin a little less dull and glowier, and I came across Squalane Oil. So there's really no studies that shows how beneficial this is for your skin or proves how beneficial it is. However, a lot of people like to use this because it adds moisture into their skin, and I can attest that. For sure. Something in me for some reason was like, yes, I want more moisture in my skin. I want it to be glowy. So I took the risk and tried the Squalane Oil, hoping that it wasn't gonna break me out, hoping that it actually does something for my skin. And I am happy to report that it definitely has made such a difference. So prior to using this, I felt like my skin was very dull. Sometimes it was more dry than expected. Other times, I felt like my moisturizers just weren't doing enough, and I was trying a lot of different moisturizers, the heaviest moisturizers, and it just wasn't making my skin like glowy and bright. And then once I started using this on top of my usual CeraVe daily moisturizing lotion, I would wake up and my skin would look and feel glowier and hydrated. So that's all to say, if you are looking for something that's going to make your skin a little bit glowier, less dull, definitely try out Squalane Oil. I've also been loving this perfume from Dior, which is the Blooming Bouquet perfume. My mom actually got me this for my birthday last year in August, and I liked it, but I was like, I don't know. I wasn't like falling in love with it or obsessed with it the way that a lot of other people are. But this summer I have just been spraying this a lot more, and it has really grown on me. The downside of the perfume is that I feel like it doesn't last long on the skin, and I love a perfume that lasts long, but it's just a very soft, florally sweet scent, which is exactly what I want for the summertime. The bottle is also beautiful, so it's really been making me want to use it more. Okay, so I promise this is the last thing that I have been loving in the month of June, and it's press-on nails and eyelashes, but I haven't found like good eyelashes that I feel like I can recommend yet. But these press-on nails from OPI have truly impressed me. I have them on my nails today, and they're just like this baby pink metallic kind of color, and I'm probably gonna change to this one today, which is like a periwinkle blue. It claims that it's supposed to give you 14 days of wear, and I am here to let you know that I am on my 14th day and they're still intact. Now, I'd be lying if I said that not one nail has fallen off. I did have one nail fall off today on the 14th day. So this is pretty true to its claims. In terms of how it fits on my nails, this is the best. Like, OPI has the best fitting nails for me. I do also purchase Kiss nails, and I love Kiss nails, but they don't fit as good as the OPI ones. So although these are a little bit more pricey, I would definitely still purchase them because I find that they're worth it and they do last really long. They're also pretty good quality, like they don't fall and bend off very easily. So I would recommend these if you're getting into press-on nails. That is all of my favorite products of June. I have just been falling back in love with makeup and beauty, so I'm so excited to share this journey with y'all. If you are new to my channel, I'm gonna be making a lot of content related to makeup for acne-prone, textured skin, and just product reviews in general, so I hope you subscribe and stick around. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!